Okay, we're back with this set, which is that number there. So the last video went terribly because the camera stopped recording halfway through and I didn't really notice. I didn't even notice that there was a caution. Where did this come from? Did we even use this? I've completely forgotten. So it's kind of not really quite finished. But that's okay. We're going to do this bag. We're going to do the second part, which is kind of like an entirely separate thing. So we're going to move that one out of the way and put all the little bits and pieces in there just to make it hard on myself. We did get some cool parts. I could actually redo the whole thing and pretend that the last video never happened because I got a second one of this set because they were reduced to clear and I went back and I got another one for a very cheap price. So that was good. In fact, cheaper than the very first one of these actual just single car things. And I got another one of these now. So I've got 6 of them in boxes that I haven't done. So that was quite neat. So it's working out well in some respects. Not in all respects. But let's... I almost just dumped them in the middle, but then I didn't. At the very last minute. Gosh, it is a very annoying sound, the plastic bags. Well, we can take these things out because they're not that important. So now I've got green ones of these, and I've got a couple of yellow ones from the pick-a-brick. And I do have another pick-a-brick coming up because I went to the shop and I got them. But they didn't have any of the green leaf things, except they did the next day, apparently, because I saw somebody posted about them stealing them all. Which was like, well, that's annoying. But I couldn't help myself, even though they didn't have the green things, because they had a whole pile of other things. I really should have thought this through, I guess. How am I going to do this? Oh, gosh. Yes, it's late again. I haven't published any of the videos that I've uploaded, as I keep forgetting. And the usual stuff. We can take the large bits out, because that's the only way this is going to work. And we can take the things that have nothing to do with this, like that person out, and this bit out. And really, oh my gosh, I should have just taken that out. that out. Okay, so yeah, these were at the pick-a-brick place, but they're gone, except when well, they're there when I'm not there. Right, I have to do this quick, because I will pass out from exhaustion. What's all that on the back of his head? Did that come from this container, or was that... I think that's actually like a sort of mark. I think that's the very first time. You can't see, but there's like a little mark on his back of his head, and I can't get it off with my fingernails. That's the very first time I've ever experienced that. So a slight quality control blunder from the Lego people there. I don't tend to have, like, you know, sometimes you see people and they do make their complaints known about the quality of these things. And I don't normally have those experiences, except for the odd time. There was that one set which... Where are his feet? That's the thing I'm looking for here. Where are his feet? I actually can't. There they are. Can see them. He's got the that hairstyle from that place. So I don't really care about him. He's not that important. He's a good minifigure apart from that odd little detail. So we're going to make a spider. It's going to be a complete jump from whatever we were doing before. And we're getting one of these quite rare in the Lego world, but quite common in the fake Lego world. This upside down piece, which is fun. And these things, which are quite neat too, like this piece here. Never had these before. I'm not really centered on the camera, am I? Need to pay more attention to the actual filming. What's this piece? This is an odd looking piece. This is actually in the container. It is. It's this thing here. Look at this. Wow, what an odd piece this is. I have this odd piece actually, which I should dig up, which looks like a pile of sandbags. It looks like it's authentic Lego, but I have no idea what set it came from. But it reminds me of this because it's the same color, but it's also just odd. But it's got, this is a weird piece, this one. So there's some nice and interesting pieces in here that I have never seen before in my whole life. And I just knocked something on the ground, which is Lego, so I'm going to put it there just in case I need it. But let us be quick. That goes there, that goes there. No time for silliness. Another one of these rounded corner pieces. Getting quite the collection of these, that's for sure. So the reason I had to get the pick a brick is that they had a somewhat interesting piece that I have never seen before. Though it is very similar to a piece that I have seen many times before, and in fact think I have got from the pick a brick. But this one was slightly different. I think it is. I hope so. Either way, I've got a ton of them. Now we're going to get some green teeth. Now you don't get those too often. So, it's a little tooth, but it's not the standard white or black or orange that I've had before. These ones are that lime green coloured, which is kind of seems to be like a good colour for spiders, I think. And then we're going to chuck some eyes on, 2 like all real spiders have, and then we're going to stick that there, and then we're going to put some cool little leg things on, except I have to find the other bits. These are always good, these pieces, even though they don't really look like proper Lego, because they're too detailed. They're like very, very detailed. And they're, in this case they're silver, so they kind of look like they're fake Lego. But they feel good. Next, how many legs do we need? We need 6. What kind of spider is this? They only have 2 eyes, and they have 6 legs. They're an insect spider, but they don't have a thorax or whatever, or they don't have a middle section, whatever that is. My hand's just suddenly cramping up a bit. That's just not good. I'm through with having strange pains. What if I can't finish this video because it suddenly starts to hurt a lot? That would be embarrassing. But we've almost got the spider done. I think it's because I'm actually wearing a jacket, but I've pulled up the sleeves and they're kind of tight around the upper part. Anyway, my back I've had these back problems for ages. Spider done. That's a pretty good spider. I like it with only 6 legs. It's going to take a while to get this spider to actually sit without falling over though. There we go. That's okay. It does work. So spider can go over there. Let's finish this off with this rather simplistic looking last bit. Yeah, so I've had back problems. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but for all that I know, I mentioned it after there was the great shutting down of the thingy, of the camera. So I don't know, they have to go this way around. So they want you to expose the odd bits out the back, so not at the front. Fair enough. This is the main direction. But my back, okay, every few days I'm like, oh, I've really got to make an appointment with the doctors because this back problem is just taking too long to fix itself up. And I almost did it today, but then my back was much better today. So, but speaking of backs, we've got a spider coming up, which I think is it's just a newer spider. I've had this one before, haven't I? It's the newer version of the spider, which is a pretty good one. A pretty nifty little spider. I like it better than the older one. The older one had that big plus on the back on their tail. There's a spider at the front of my place, by my front door, and I was going to ask them to turn over to see if they have a little red cross, if they're a that kind of spider. But no, not a cross, like a little hourglass thing. But they wouldn't do it, so they were too busy doing whatever spiders do. It's just a normal spider. But I like having spiders around. I'm a spider person. Except we don't have, if you've never been to New Zealand, we're not Australia. We don't have many nasty spiders or anything. Most of them are pretty tame. In fact, the only ones that are not pretty tame are imports from Australia. And there's only like 3 spiders in New Zealand that are particularly worrisome. So one of them, white-tailed spider, I have actually had crawl into my house several times. Well, not recently, though. Not at my current place, but previously, and that's always a bit annoying. But I've never been bitten by one, but I have been bitten by a spider. I think I mentioned it on this channel. I was filling up petrol in my petrol car, choo choo, toot toot, putting petrol in the car, and I opened up the petrol cap and put my hand in, and it'd been a while since I'd been there, and there was a spider in there, and they bit me, and I was like, I don't believe it. I didn't actually, like, it was just seemed so ridiculous. Like, spiders don't actually bite you. Like, they're not like mosquitoes, but apparently they actually do in real life. But they were just an everyday spider, and they were just annoyed with me. But I ended up killing them by accident, because it was like, you know, the reaction and everything, which made me sad. It's like, well, they weren't really doing anything bad. But that was a valuable life lesson. I thought it was amazing that I got to like my age, a significant age, and never having been bitten by a spider. Seems like, you know, an impressive thing. Though I haven't, it's one of those things you don't really ask other people. Have you ever actually been bitten by a spider? I mean, I'm assuming they're all going to say yes, or something, or there'll be a group of people that will say yes. It's like catching the flu. I've never, to my knowledge, ever caught the flu in my entire life. I've never even remotely come close to, I don't think. I mean, the one time I did get a fever out of nowhere and was a bit fatigued, so maybe that was my flu, but it wasn't particularly bad. And, you know, that's pretty much, and I wouldn't, you know, it doesn't feel like the kind of thing you'd call a flu. But, you know, and I talked to a few other friends, and they're like, no, we've never really had a flu, just had bad colds, which isn't really the flu. But then there's a group of people who always seem to get flus all the time, and they've got, like, you know, I've had, you know, they've had so many. I'm like, what the heck? So those kind of people, I suspect, will have had multiple spider bites as well. It just goes hand in hand. I assume these things that, you know, people say people have, but they don't really have them. But then some people really do have them. And I think the flu and spider bites are one of those things. Of course, some people get the flu and it's really, really bad. So, yes, shouldn't really be making jokes about it. But I'm still young and healthy enough that it shouldn't be a concern. It's just, it seems strange that, you know, we talk often about it, especially with COVID. And I haven't had COVID yet. At least if I have had COVID, I had it really mild. And I mean, I might have actually. There's a pretty good chance that I have had COVID. And it was just super mild. Because I'm the kind of irritating person who doesn't get particularly sick of those kind of things and reacts well to vaccines. So, not so. That's probably why I probably had the flu multiple times and never even noticed. And now we're going to finish this off. But when it comes to back pain, it turns out I had back pain. After having thought to myself, well, I never get back pain, and I ain't going to ever get back pain. Back pain's for people who get back pain, and it's not going to be me. And then it was. But then it's kind of going away. But then I thought maybe it's not my back. Maybe it's something else in my body, and it just happens to feel like that, because I can't really say what would cause it, except for the fact that I carried a bicycle on my back while cycling on another bicycle, and it was a heavy bike, and that was probably it. So, that's what my assumption is. I can't even remember if I've discussed this fact, that what I thought happened was that a few weeks ago, or 6 weeks ago, I bought a bicycle, and then I took it home on my back. I did, because I mentioned that I thought about driving my car to pick it up, and then I was like, nah, I'm going to do the old school style and take it home on a bicycle. And I did. But it was too heavy. It quite possibly might have damaged my back. Now we're going to finish this silliness by looking at yet another new piece. And this piece is quite an exciting look at this one. I feel like this could be used. It's almost like, it feels like it, like I don't think it can be, but it could be used as an actual cog. As I yawn. But it is very interesting. Look at that. What a strange piece. Like, I can kind of imagine that they would have this if it was a flat one, you know, just a one stud high piece. That would be quite neat. But it seems weird. But it's kind of, did they make this for this particular set? That is quite the coolest thing. So that goes there, and then it's just going to hang there. So I guess that's a prize or something. You have to knock it off. So that's that thing. There's not really much you can talk about because it's just for the stunts. But it feels like this thing here has all the stunt creativity in it. I mean, this is the real stunt stuff. Well, we'll have to get the box out. We'll have to get the picture out. Well, that doesn't really tell you. I guess that you're jumping over the fire bit. And you're trying not to land in the spooky spider area. And you want to jump over that, and then you want to hit the signs and the things and make that fall apart. It's interesting. Like, I don't know how the play value. Once I finish this, I was going to go take it in and see if kids enjoyed doing this little flippy thing, which is actually kind of fun. I guess we have to do that again since I lost the video. So the flippy thing. The flippy thing is fun. Like, you can do it on the desk. Well, I should do it like this. Whee! So it's very easy to jump the whole thing, which is, like, I guess you want to get it just right so that you go and then you land, which is probably quite a good challenge. So, hold on. Now, that's not enough speed. That's still not enough speed. Nope, that was a miss. So there is a challenge in this, but I think this is more just interesting because it was cheap and there was fun pieces in it. It's not normally cheap though, so maybe not so good. But this is so far the only big set that I've seen that's on reduced to clear. So hopefully they have a few more because I ain't gonna buy them full price. But anyway, that was that. I think I dropped something on the floor. Some fun pieces, some novel new things, and I've already lost a little cool spiky bit just like that. It must be around somewhere. I have to keep that to show everybody. Look at that. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's like a sunflower if you do it that way. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.